Hello and welcome to this live watch along once again on the Brandon Smith Rugby channel here on YouTube. It is time for some Gallagher Premiership action. After last night's Pro 14 action, we turn our attention to this game. It is Bath hosting Exeter down at the back. It's a massive game and we're so excited for it here. We have a very special guest jumping on once again. We'll get to him in just a second. But if you are new here, as always, do subscribe. It's free to do and helps grow the channel out. And also, get your thoughts in the chat. Keep it all rugby and also like the video. Anyway, I've spoken enough already. Let's get our guest in. It is Freddie from FBTC Rugby. Freddie, how are you, my friend?
Fine, thanks. Very happy to come on the channel once again for this, hopefully, a good game of rugby. Yeah,
it should be a good game of rugby. It's going to be really interesting. Gregor Galway already in the chat. Are you not biased to Bath? It's the only kit that I had of the two teams. It's actually only a training top. So it's not all that much of an issue. Again, I don't support either team, but both teams will be looking, Bath, of course, won last week against Northampton. They'll be looking to build on that. But Exeter, surprisingly, 2 losses on the bounce. This is a big game for them, isn't it, Gregor? Not Gregor, Freddie, sorry.
It's fine. I'm kind of, because my grandparents support Exeter, so I have a bit towards Exeter, biased towards. I want Exeter to win. And just journey, I just like the journey they've been on. And it's a great journey how they've gone from a small. Just think about 20 years ago, they were in Division, so it's a Championship, and then Division 1, then Division 1. Then just come up to them. Now the Premiership and European Chapter. It's absolutely amazing where they come from.
Absolutely. James Burge, we will get to your predictions for this game. I know you're a big Premiership fan, James, so we will get some. But first, let's have a look at the teams that have been picked. This is the team for both sides going out. So we'll go through both of them now and we'll get Freddie's thoughts on it. Just before we get into the team, remember to check out Freddie's channel, FBTC Rugby. I know, Freddie, you're doing a watch long after this game. So do head over there to watch it. And Freddie does everything Premiership Rugby. He's an expert on it. So that's the channel for you. So let's go through the Bath team. So starting with the fullback, we have Tom de Glanville, Rory McConaughey, Jonathan Joseph, Josh Matavesi, Will Muir, Reece Priestland and Ben Spencer. Those are the backs. Looking at the forwards then, Benno Obano, Tom Dunn, Henry Thomas, Josh McAnally is the captain, Elliot Stuke, Talupe Faletau at 6, Sam Underhill at 7 and Mercer at 8. That is a heck of a back row and we'll get into the debate on that. And then looking at the Exeter team, then you got Stuart Hogg at 15, Facundo Cordero, the winger, the Argentinian playing on the wing there, Ian Whitton and Ollie Devoto are the centres with Tom O'Flaherty out wide. Joe Simmons is captain at 10 and Jack Maunder is at 9. Then in the forwards, you've got Alec Hepburn, Jack Innard and Harry Williams as the front row. You have Johnny Gray and Sam Skinner as a lock partnership, and then Dave Hughes, Jacques Vermeulen and Sam Simmons at 8. Freddie, your thoughts on those teams? That battle of the back row is going to be really interesting, isn't it?
I wasn't expecting to see Sam Underhill back. That was a complete shock when the team lineup said I was expecting to be quite far away. But it's going to be Faletau, Underhill and Mercer versus Ewers, Marlin and Simmons. That battle is going to be tremendous. It's physical. You know what's going to... I think the great battle's got to be Mercer versus Simmons. Most defenders, I think the most defenders beaten by a forward this year in Mercer versus the top try scorer in the league in Sam Simmons. It's going to be a great battle. I think that's the big battle to watch out for.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic battle, isn't it? We'll get to James's question, and James asking what is our predictions for this game. We did a Premiership preview, of course, ahead of this weekend, and I think we both backed Exeter. Are you going to stick with Exeter?
Yeah. I can't remember what. I think I went quite big Exeter, but I'm going to change my mind now because looking at the team lineups and that changes the. I think it will be Exeter 30, and I'll shorten it to Bath 24.
Oh, okay. So quite a close game then. I still am going to back Exeter. I think Exeter need a result here. But as you said, that Bath back row, Faletau, Underhill and Mercer, I mean, that's a heck of a back row. That's pretty much a world-class back row. Faletau, maybe you'd say back to his best nearly. Mercer obviously going out to Montpellier in the summer, which seems like a very odd decision to me. How I think he's done that move, obviously, because he knows he's probably not going to get in the England squad. So what's the harm going abroad for 2 years, earning a lot of money and coming back? I don't see that harm in that.
He said he's coming back to England in about 2 years' time. Basically, when Eddie Jones has left the job. That's what basically he said. That's what I said. And that he wants to go. Eddie Jones is not going to pick him. And he's going to have so many options, whoever comes in. And we know what's... I have a feeling it's going to be someone that's already been in the England setup.
Okay, interesting.
I think you're going to see someone that's already been in there, but who knows? And guys, I've got on my phone here. I'm watching the Gloucester Wasps game too because they kick off at the same time.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on all the rugby going on this afternoon. And just a reminder, later on today, I will be doing a watch-along for Ulster against Leinster. Obviously, Munster last night beat Connacht to book their place in the Pro 14 final. They can't be caught in Conference B now. But Leinster against Ulster, that's a massive game, only separated by bonus points in Conference A. And so that's a huge game. And so we are going to be keeping an eye on that this evening, as well as Ospreys against Dragons. But as I said, a lot of rugby going on today. James Birch says, as a Quins fan, would prefer Bath to win, but I can see Exeter winning by at least 15. Oh, quite a big scoreline. Dreger's got the drinks ready. Dr. Pepper, not the biggest fan of that, I can't lie, of Dr. Pepper. But that back row battle, if we look at those teams again, just before the players come out here, you've got to look at it and think, look at that. Falatau, Underhill and Mercer against Ewers, Vermeulen and Sam Simmons. I mean, Sam Simmons has been the Form 8, you'd have to say, in the league this season. This is going to be a physical battle, isn't it, Freddie?
Yeah, I agree. Seeing what they're going, there's what a surprise they're going. Falatau, Underhill, Mercer versus Simmons, Ewers, Marlin. Not surprised there because it's a great battle. The packs they're so having Johnny Gray, I think, is crucial for them coming back in. He offers that, especially with Yendel, Cowan-Dickey not there, and just offers that stability in the second row for their set piece.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely does. We're very close to kick-off, so do get your predictions in the chat as well. Myself and Freddie are backing Exeter to win. I do think it'll be very close, and I think it's going to be quite a physical game, but it'll be exciting to see how this one goes throughout the day.
They just said Priestland and Joe Simmons is the backs one. They think is going to be the battle. So forward and the backs, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a big battle. Of course, Priestland will be playing really well for Bath this season, and he's going to Cardiff Blues next season. So that'll be interesting to see how he gets on there, coming back to Wales, of course, at the end of the day. I am Welsh and I am a Wales fan. But Exeter coming out here now. So we will see how this one goes.
I think if the rule was different, I think he would stay in the Premiership. And I think about in Wales, if they had more 6 caps, I think the only reason to go back because he wants to go and play for Wales. I don't. And I think plenty of other players have said this before. Bigger said he would, if he didn't have 60 caps, he wouldn't have left Wales at the time. But I just see it, and seeing Chiefs come out now, I think it's a good move for him. But it's a Bath. I don't know who they haven't. I don't know if they got to replace him.
Yeah, I mean, there's talk of like Jared Evans, of course, at the Blues. He still hasn't signed his new contract. I know a couple of Blues fans are worried about that. Just before we get into kickoff, if you haven't yet done it, be sure to subscribe. And just a reminder that I don't actually show the actual game due to copyright. This is simply a watch along. With COVID and stuff, we can't all get together in the pub or at the stadium to watch these games. So this is great. We're bringing fans together, and I'm joined today by Freddie from FBTC Rugby. Do check out his channel, Everything Premiership Rugby there. Ewan had a really interesting question. Who's going to win Europe this season? For me personally, it's very difficult to look past the likes of Toulouse and Leinster potentially, although Leinster haven't been brilliant over the past few weeks. So what about you, Freddie? Is there someone that you would think would be winning in Europe?
I think Toulouse will win it. Leinster obviously are great with Saracens not in it this year. But I just don't see the difference is because Leinster can rest people in the Premiership, and in the Premiership, if you rest loads of players, you will not get a result. It's just a standard. You can't rest players in the Premiership. But we'll have to see. I think Toulouse. I think Toulouse will win it. But very interesting to see. I could definitely say it won't be English side.
No.
It won't be English side. I can say that for sure.
No, I don't think so either. And it won't be one of the Welsh regions either, that's for sure. And yeah, I think it's going to be Leinster or Toulouse. I think Toulouse, though. I mean, that team is just insane. And on Tuesday, the draw is being done at 12:30. So we are going to do a watch along here on the channel for that live. So you can join me as they come in, as the draw comes out for both competitions, and we'll keep an eye on that. We have just kicked off here, by the way.
It's just penalty to Chiefs. What second do you want?
I am on 39 seconds.
So yeah, so just about the same.
Yeah. So we'll see how this one goes. Rugby Geeks, welcome. Hope you are well. Afternoon to you as well. Let me know who you are supporting in the chat. James Burge asks, I'm going to ask you this one, Freddie, because you are the Premiership expert as such. Who would you say will finish top 4 in the Premiership, and who do you think is going to win it overall this season?
Bristol. I think Bristol are going to be Chiefs. I would say, I think Sale will get in there, and I think if Quins continue their form, I don't know. The thing is, I don't know about Quins still, because they might. This is off. I've seen it before with many coaches. I think they will, but they've. You've seen it before happen. It's off a coach bounce, James. I've seen it happen before, coach bounce. I don't know if they continue. We don't know what happen. They lost last week. It could be a massive momentum blow for them. We don't know that yet. But I do think Quins will get in the top 4. And to be fair, that is probably the squad they have is probably deserved, because the squad, they should be doing a lot better than they were, because they were underperforming massively. You have a great squad. Yeah, it's all okay. They go back to the penalty, but I just think Quins will get in there with Saints, and I think, but I wouldn't. I'm not sure about. I think everyone's so inconsistent though, apart from Bristol and Exeter normally. Yeah,
I think Bristol have been probably the best team in the league this season. They play the best rugby. Ewan says on Toulouse were class 2 years ago, though, and Leinster completely dismantled them in the semis. I just think the experience that the likes of DuPont and Untimac would have got from the past year or so of playing rugby, I can't see anyone beating them at the minute. And with Cheslin Colby, I mean, he played 10 last week as they won in the top 14. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
I think people underestimate. It was 2 years ago. They've got a lot more training. They got better. That's different to what DuPont's was a bit of a while to go. But now they're just a bit off. Inard? No, they're going to pick and go now. Skinner has no support if they can see it.
Exeter close here, about 5 metres out. Strong start from them.
Yes, all from penalty. And it's advantage penalty.
There we go. Surely they take the points here just to get something on the scoreboard, you'd think. Or they take it.
They'll tap and go. They won't take points here. They're going to pick and go, and the relentlessness will help them.
Picking and going then.
Okay, Hepburn again. Pick and go. You'll see just a fist.
Then the whistle goes to defence.
Penalty there for Bath. Big penalty for Bath, that.
I always said that they didn't have many latches on there. That was a problem for me. 4 minutes into the Worcester game, nothing's happened in the Worcester game yet.
Okay, brilliant. We'll keep an eye on all the scores. Let's quickly chat about yesterday's scores. Leicester, your team, getting a very dramatic win against London Irish.
I would say it was. I think it was the first 20 Irish were better. Second 20 we were better. The first half of the second half, first 20 we were better. The last 20 of the game, Irish better. So it was a very close game. I don't think we played that well. We were really scrappy. It was a scrappy game, even though if you watch the game, it wasn't. They scored tries, but I think it was just Tigers were a bit defensively, and they were very annoyed. It was both teams were very annoyed with their performances. And I think the most important thing for Leicester is they have a game next week, and they hopefully can go back-to-back wins, and they got Gloucester. I think it's massive for the confidence in that group.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously,
yeah, for you guys, massive win, isn't it? Massive win for you guys. Yeah. London Irish, of course, will be really disappointed with that one. And last night as well, I don't think it was a very surprising result, was it, to see this one? But Sale beat Newcastle, didn't they?
Yeah, I do. I do say you'll get a very good Sale side now coming, because you're going to get Alex Anderson, and he's a very well-gripped drill coach, and we'll get the best out of those Sale players. I think they need to clear this before they concede possession. And they are going to now.
Yeah, Sale getting the win. Marlon Yard on the try scoring there for them. So they got the win at home against Newcastle, winning that one 31-16. So those were the two games yesterday. And it is a penalty, as Freddie says there.
And they're going to
get from Exeter here, isn't there? A little bit of ill discipline.
Oh, great turnover from Gloucester there. Wasps were just about in the try line. They were about to score a try there, Wasps were, and it was a great stop on the line and they've turned the ball over. Great trial. I think it was Barton, a young player, but it was a try scoring opportunity. That was great for them. And now a great kick from Bath to put it right into the corner.
Yeah.
No, not as good as I thought it was. I thought it was a lot.
Just inside the 22. A good opportunity for them here. I mean, it's been all Exeter so far, really, in the attacking sense, but chance for Bath here to try and create something.
Greg, I think Ian Whitten, he's still playing. I think he's the Brad Barrett of Exeter. Just does everything so simple, and does them well. I think he's the Brad Barrett basically of Exeter and what they do so well.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Bath come in here attacking. I think Exeter might need not quite turn this over. Advantage to Bath though. Ball comes out wide here. Lovely offload, tackled.
Advantage.
They do have the advantage.
No, he can't. They try to rip it out. Spencer. There it is. Judge.
Lovely ball out wide. McConaughey can't quite get there. He's dropped it. It's gone forward, but they'll come back for the original advantage.
It was Tonda Glanville.
Sorry, my bad. But if I'm Bath here, I think you take the points because I think it's going to be quite a close one, couldn't it?
Yeah, it will be a close. They've got to take the opportunities when they come to them.
Devoto there penalised at the breakdown. So opportunity for Exeter here. Talking about Leinster, Ewan says, to be honest, Leinster have been poor last few weeks, but then again, they're literally missing their 18 best players. But I think that's interesting because Leinster, second, third team, have been put out this season and absolutely smashed sides. But as I said, we are doing that watch long this evening for Leinster against Ulster. That'll be a good game. Rugby Geek says Newcastle like discipline and just couldn't take their chances.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I just think that Sale are that strong a team, aren't they? They really are now. We will, obviously, as Freddie has already alluded to, keep an eye on the rest of the scores. So Bath with an opportunity, Reece Priestland to put them ahead. It's right in front of the post. He basically cannot miss. And he doesn't. Oh, only just. Jeez, that was close. There we go. Bath lead 3-0 down at the Rec in this one.
Yeah, I think it's 33 kicking in a row. That's really impressive. Hasn't missed a kick in 33 times he's kicked it. Joe Simmons kicks it back underway.
Indeed. There is a question for you, Freddie, here in the chat. Would you like to see a British and Irish league? So scrap the Premiership. You maybe have a top teams in half of the Premiership play the top half teams in the Pro 14. Would you be eager to see that or not at all?
No. I think keep the way it is. I think the Premiership. I think it just gets rid of the whole Premiership and it gets rid of Europe basically. If they do that, what's the point of having Europe if they're not going to? If they're going to do a British Irish league, so if you're going to and then that means you scrap Europe completely. That's the best thing about Europe. You play against big, good international teams, and I think the Premiership and the Irish Pro 14 are different. Than the Premiership at the moment is better, but because I might be a bit biased, but I think it is the best. Anyone could beat anyone. But I just feel I think it would ruin the aim of Europe. In my opinion. What would you want it?
Yes and no. I can see the whole idea of it. I can see I can see what the attraction is for it, because obviously then you have the best teams in your opportunity for Bath here to spread the ball out a little bit. Good to happen there. But I think for you want to play against the best teams, don't you? That's the thing. And I think, as Rugby Geek says, the quality in the Premiership could wash away the Welsh and Scottish sides. Edinburgh and Glasgow have been really poor this season. Dragons have been shambolic. Ospreys have been okay. Scots and Cardiff Blues have been below par.
I think, no offence to Ospreys, I think.
Have they scored? Is it going to count? I think it is.
Try
indeed, in the corner. Bath, what a start!
What a start for the Bath. They've got the upper hand here.
They have indeed. Rory McConaughey in the corner, 14 tries in 37 Premiership matches for him.
Owen
from Friesland, a crossfield kick. He gathers it. He beats the scrum half in the air. Brilliant try.
You have to do a lot better there. If Flaherty needs to command in that area there. It's not Jack Meon, he shouldn't be out there on his own. But it's poor defence by. It's great news by Friesland. Owen, I personally, for me, Premiership fans, we like Europe, but consider it's completely different to Europe. Premiership clubs prefer to do well in the Premiership than Europe. That's what they are. Fans like that too. They might do because it's competitive in its league. But if you lose one match and you're not playing well, you're basically out the tournament, realistically. And it gets another kick and makes it a 10-0. I think most Premiership fans I've spoken to here about, they much prefer the Premiership over Europe, but still like the competition.
I think Europe, though, it's about fans for me. Europe is those away days that you get, and it's been able to head out to France to watch your team play, or head out to Italy, or you go over to Ireland, or we head over the border to England.
I really love it, but if fans had to choose one, it would be the Premiership.
Definitely.
I think if you take, because that's just who I've spoken to. You was with it. They've got to try and get a try now.
Well, Exeter started brightly, but couldn't take their chances. And Bath have had 2 chances to come away with 2 points.
And that's what you need against Exeter. Simmons.
Nice hands, though, trying to go through. And I think that's a forward pass there. And they'll have the scrum.
A very good, very, very good by... if you got to stop, if you stop this Exeter plan and push them back, you have a good defence. They're very hard, and you've got your discipline against Exeter has to be good. You stop the discipline, they don't have the attacking threat. I feel. I do think they are missing some crucial players, though. They're getting some back. I think they are missing I think this is Bath's strongest team. I don't see, apart from Watson, this is the strongest team you're going to get. I just don't see because they've got everyone back. They've got everyone there. Stuart Watson. So they should be really winning this game. Not winning it, but they should be up to par.
Freddie, something for you to try and say in Welsh.
I won't say it. I'm not going to try and embarrass myself on the stream.
That's all good. It just says, "Good afternoon, lads. Hope you're okay." That's Ben Ford, the Welsh Rugby Roundup Show co-host. Me and Ben host the Welsh Rugby Roundup Show. We've got some exciting things coming over the next few days. A really great interview with a former player who's looking to get back into rugby. That's coming out on Monday. And we're really excited for that one to come out. Ewan says, to be fair, Europe has been class this season. Imagine if they're fans of the Bristol versus Clermont match. Class. I mean, the one stadium that I always wanted to go out to was the Toulon Stadium because the fans there look insane and look so good. I have not had the chance to go out.
I've been there, and when you're an away fan, they know you're an away fan, and they'll give you grief. They know turn up there and you're a fan because they know all the round. If they seen you with any Tigers shirts, they'll give you so much grief when you're there. And it's a very hard place to go. I think it's harder than Clermont because they just give more. Clermont's it's the Borussia Dortmund Stadium of rugby. It's a yellow wall. But I think you get more grief in Toulon than you do in Clermont. I think they're bigger noise, but they give you more grief, and it's a very hard place to go, and a penalty for Bath there. Yeah,
indeed. But yeah, some of your comments, let's have a look. Welcome back to the channel. I can never pronounce your name, but you do join us for every watch on, which is great. The RDS was built to house horses, now it's a houses. A team of donkeys, they're called Leinster Rugby. I think you're being harsh, to be honest. And I think the reason for that is you're still top of Conference A. You're still top of Conference A. And you probably go into this Ulster game as favourites for this game. But yes, you have not been performing that well. Last week against Glasgow wasn't great. But I wouldn't be too worried, to be honest. But because, the depth in that squad is insane. Bath of the line out here on the Exeter 22. Ball comes out here through to the forwards. Okay. Great tackling from Exeter. Ben Spencer gets it out.
No, they're
through the gears.
Defensively here, they are very poor defensively. They won't be happy. There's the men all over. There's gaps all over the field here, and it's a great team again.
Not really going forward though. Lovely throwing pass over but it's out anyway from Spencer there, and maybe a little bit of a waste. Maybe forced it a little bit too much there.
He didn't need to. This is the worrying thing. If they don't take the chances now, they are going to regret it later.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, you're a Munster fan. You must have enjoyed last night's watch along. Thank you, everyone who joined that. It's absolutely smashed views, and really grateful for the likes and the subscribers and stuff like that. It's great. Let's have a look at some of your other comments. Hammond fans are like away fans. Great people. They are indeed. Yeah, Leinster could win tonight. As I've said before, we're doing a watch along here on the channel for that one. Going live about 7:15 with kickoff at 7:25 So do join us for that one. And a preview will drop for that around 5 o'clock on the channel straight after this game really has finished. So do subscribe for that as well. And as I said before, Freddie's doing a watch long on his own channel of Worcester against Bristol. I mean, Bristol probably are strong favourites for that, but that should be a good game. So once the link is live, Freddie, send it to me and I'll put it in the chat. Bath with an opportunity to attack here. McConaughey coming forward. Ball out wide to Falatau here. They're offloading nicely here, Bath. Falatau tackle just outside.
He's got through. They can't allow.
Ball back to Priestland with ball in hand, spreads it out to the backs. Bit narrow from Exeter in defence here. Bit of space. Some big hits coming in here. Exeter struggling a little bit here. A little stretched. Advantage to Bath. Ball out to Priestland once again. Through to the rest of the backs. Lovely chip through from Joseph. Who's going to get it? And they'll come back for the original penalty. Well, Exeter's discipline here is really poor. We will have half time, of course, look at the stats of this game. But you're going to get it. You're worried. You're worried here, aren't you?
Yeah, you are very worried. Very interesting to see how they're going to do. They've got to start getting their discipline right. Yes, they've got to have I would say, they've got to get this discipline right, or Bath will start to run away with it. Yes, they'll be all. It's all one team at the moment, and I would take the points here.
Yeah, I think so, definitely take the points here. I mean, you're nearly halfway through the first half. Exeter started strongly for the first 5 minutes, didn't take their points when they had the opportunity. Bath have taken their opportunities, and Exeter's defence looks a little bit all over the place. Rugby Geeks, I'll reach out to you. If you're on Twitter, put your Twitter in the chat. I'll reach out to you and we'll do something together for sure. Just check out your channel, looks great. So, drop your Twitter in the chat or reach out to me on Twitter. It is linked in the description down below, and get in touch and we'll make a video together or something. I had a good chat with many Tigers fans whenever they came to Thomond Park. Very nice group of people. I've been to Welford Road before with the Ospreys, and it's always a great day out.
Just subscribe to you, Rugby Geeks. Great to see more rugby people doing more content.
Absolutely. So Priestland going for the.
I'll get in contact with you. Maybe doing a video with you two, Rugby Geeks.
Priestland is successful with his kick. Bath lead this one 13 points to 0. It's been all done so far.
It's Wasps, Gloucester 7, Wasps 0.
Who scored for?
Gloucester 7, Wasps 0.
Who scored for Gloucester?
I didn't see because I was concentrating on the other game. But I will find out for you.
Thank you. Brilliant. So there we go. It is 13 points to 0 in favour of Bath. A lot of pressure, you'd have to say, on Exeter now. They could be looking at their third defeat on the bounce, which would be a real issue for them.
So
great comment here. When Munster played Exeter 2 seasons ago, it's like watching an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. Was totally 50-50.
Cicchino scored.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Thank you for that. Yes, the watch on this evening is just going to be me on the channel for that one. Leinster against Ulster should be a good one, but do join us for that one. Ewan says Ospreys on the up. Be great to see them be more competitive in Europe. Let's hope so. We are in the Challenge Cup this year. As I said, the draw is live, going live on Tuesday, so I will cover that live on the channel.
It'd be very interesting to see who gets who.
Yeah, it will be. And all 4 Welsh regions are involved, so it's going to be exciting to see. As Gregor says there, if you did miss yesterday's watch-along of Munster against Connacht, it is live on the channel. You can go and check it. I'll drop a link to it in the channel, in the chat now. So if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to go and check that out. Guys, thank you so much for 1,100 subscribers. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, very, very grateful. Thank you. And if you haven't yet done so already, do check out Freddie's channel. I'll also link that in the chat in a second. Go subscribe to him. He knows 100% more than I do about Premiership Rugby. So if you like Premiership Rugby, that is the channel for you. So do go and check it out. But I'll just drop Munster Connacht watch long in the chat.
Hines is down injured for Bath, not for Bath, Gloucester. And that's worrying because they lose a lot of stability when he's off the field.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like he might have done his hamstring.
Ooh, that's going to be quite a long time out, isn't it, for him?
He looks like he got tackled on the floor, and it looked like he hurt himself. He might get back up, but to me, they're trying to get him on. It's definitely a leg injury somewhere. I say that. Looks like he's walking off.
Well, Bath are attacking here, coming forward. Exeter's defence is all over the place, playing very narrow today. Jonathan Joseph finds Underhill. Underhill carries it just outside the 22. I mean, it's been all Bath so far in this opening 21 and a half minutes or so. Nobody at the breakdown for Bath to get the ball. Next to have turned this over, but I think Bath have turned it back over again. They tried a little kick. It's charged down. Exeter with the ball now, and we'll have the penalty. So a bit of a chaotic few minutes there. Not much stability in that one, and we'll have a scrum on the 10-metre line. Who does Freddie support? Leicester Tigers. Leicester Tigers. Season ticket holder, aren't you? Is that right? I think you are, aren't you?
Yeah, Frogs coming back, and away trips too. So whoever we get in Europe, if we get a Welsh team, I'll hopefully be coming down to Wales.
Yeah, definitely, that'll be awesome. Absolutely, definitely. I've been to Welford Road a couple of times. My cousins, you're gonna hate me saying this, they support Saints. Fans. So that's a great derby day. That is a brilliant derby day. I love going there.
Last year in the summer, it just didn't seem right. Players weren't as up for it because the fans make so much a difference. You can just hit them, especially home and away. They just give them so much grief in the stands if their decision's not right. And it's fair. I do feel sorry for the players for these derbies. It might be the same for Osprey Scarlets, or Yes, I do think I don't know about Welsh, but fans make so much a difference in these derby days.
Definitely.
You never get as big up for it as you do.
No, you don't. And I mean, I think tonight, as I said, we've got an Ospreys versus Dragons game in the Pro 14. That's a Welsh derby. And yet the fanfare about it, the build up to it has been very, very minimal. Not much talk about it, to be honest. I guess there's not that many Welsh internationals in the teams this weekend. We've only got Owen Watkin and Aaron Wainwright, who have been released from the Wales squad. I think you still got Moriarty there, who obviously is a world-class player who's not in the Wales camp at the minute. But again, there's not been that much fanfare. And for Dragons, they're bottom of Conference B. They can't get anything out of it. The only thing Ospreys will get out of this is to get a European place, as Munster secured their, as Leinster and Ulster playing tonight. So yeah, there's not been that much fanfare, but this Leinster Ulster game should be a really good game. I think it should be a really exciting one.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, I don't think they're playing that well, Leinster. What have you said? Because I haven't watched them really at all, but unless it's been in Europe. But what you say, that's what great sides do, though. If they they're not playing well, they win, and that's what good sides do. Or they're nearly through the gap. I think you're ahead of me.
Yeah, I'm a little bit ahead of you here, I think, but Bath have been playing a lot on the edge of the 22 of Exeter, not really getting through, and I've got to eat my words, maybe. Great tackle as the fullback crawls through, and Exeter have won the ball at the breakdown, though.
It's knocked
on. And Bath really beginning to push here. Matavesi with a lovely offload here. Very, very nice.
Yeah, we are on Owen. We are on the up, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think me and Brandon, both our teams are very similar, very forward based. Our game is definitely territory based, and our kicking. And we have only, I don't know about you, we've only had 4 Youngs and Genge for one game this year. One Premiership game this year. That's unbelievable how much they've been away, and they make such a difference to our team. We have 9 players out at the start: Montoya, Forge, Youngs, Weezer, Leonberg, Nandolo. Should like to be back next week, but it'll be very interesting to see when this target. I think they've already made a big improvement now. What's it going to be like in 18 months? Very interesting to see.
Yeah, I think for Ospreys this season, we have improved a lot. We've just got stability. And I think the big reason for that is Stephen Myler at 10. Obviously released from London Irish last summer, the end of his contract. We signed him on a 1-year deal. We've extended that for a further year. And I'm really excited to see what he can do. But he's brought that stability. Webb has been playing really well. Don't understand why he's not in the Wales squad. That blows my mind. Although, we have had some questionable results. We've lost to Zebra this year. We've also only just about beaten 10 points to 0. Exeter winning the penalty there at the scrum. But yeah, it's been good for us. We're building, and it'll be interesting to see who we get in Europe, because all we've got to play for in the league now is the European places, and that starts tonight against the Dragons, hopefully where we'll get a win. And we won't be covering that game fully on the watch along tonight. But we will be keeping an eye on it for sure and seeing how that one goes. So do join us for that.
I do think it's very interesting to see. I personally, I think it was. I think who would you want to get in the draw though? I would like to get Zebra or Cardiff Blues. I think, considering I think those are probably no offense to them, probably we've beaten Blues before. I might look who's in the draw and see who's. Let's have
a look now. I think we have in the Champions Cup. These are the teams currently still in there. So you got Racing, you got Leinster, Wasps, Bordeaux, Munster, Lyon, Toulouse, La Rochelle, Scarlets, Clermont, Bristol, Exeter, Edinburgh, Gloucester, Toulon, and Sales Sharks. With Racing, Leinster, Wasps, Bordeaux, and Munster are guaranteed home matches in the round of 16. And in the Challenge Cup, you have London Irish, Ospreys, Leicester Tigers, Cardiff Blues, Zebra, Agen, Benetton, Newcastle, Ulster, Connacht, Northampton Saints, Bath, Montpellier, Dragons, Harlequins, and Glasgow Warriors. And out of those teams, London Irish, Ospreys, and Leicester Tigers guaranteed home matches in the round of 16. So the games are going to be played on the 2nd, 3rd and 4th of April, and the draw's done on Tuesday the 9th, which is next week, which again, we'll be doing a watch-along live for that one. So out of those teams, Freddie, who would you like to get? You've mentioned Zebra and Cardiff.
I'll find the teams. Let me find it. I'll be very interested. Penalty Chiefs. Looking at a team, I would like probably Zebra, Ajon, Benetton. So Dragons, Benetton, Zebra. So the teams: Zebra, Cardiff Blues, Ajon, or Dragons. Those are the teams I would like to face in the semi. What do you call it?
In the round of 16, yeah. I think there's a law that says that, it says here, so the draws for the quarterfinals, both tournament will be open, so allowing for the possibility of match between clubs from the same league. So in round 16, you can't face a team from your own league. So we won't be able to face Cardiff Blues, Zebra, Benetton, Ulster, Connacht, Dragons, or Glasgow, but we can face anyone else in that draw. So for us, we could potentially face you. We could face Agen, could face Newcastle
in the first round.
Because we can't face you guys because we're all guaranteed a home match. So we can only actually face.
Hardest game for both. We can't face them. Hardest game probably is in the competition going to be Quins, in my opinion. I think Quins is going to be the hardest. I think Quins probably the favourite. I think Northampton will be tough and Newcastle will be tough.
A decent side on their day. They can be a decent team for sure. Exeter attacking here in the 22. Really, let's see if they can come away with points with just under 12 minutes to go until half time. You'd like to face the Blues with the likes of these Jared Evans, Navidi, Adams, Thomas Williams, just to name a few. It is a good team. But are you underperforming, Ben? Are you underperforming? That's the question. You're not as good as Ospreys, are you, mate? It's just a fact. That's going to wind you up. I can't help it.
Ben, but we got Youngs, Ford, Ndolo, Weezer, Hanro, Lavanini, Montoya, all not playing. If it works, Tigers get it. And we have not had Ford one game. We've only had one game this year. And when he plays, we are a different side. And we're starting to have a good pack now. If Weezer's fit, we are a different side because he brings so much physical ball. He's a bit like Falatau, brings such a difference to the team, and he brings massive difference. But
Exeter have gone for the corner here, haven't they? So that's going to be interesting now. Sorry, buddy.
Are a good side, but I would say they're a good side. But looking at the competition, probably. I would have to say they're not the favourite. I would prefer to bet.
Exeter score! Try for Exeter. Exeter have got their first goal off the line-outs. They kind of use like a fake maul in a way of Flaherty getting over 10, trying 38 matches for him. And Exeter, after that pressure, finally got some score. And that'll be a big boost before half-time.
Yeah, it's a great try. I think it's a great just that inside ball takes that man out, and then I think Priestland really should make that tackle realistically.
We're looking at it again now. He definitely should be making that tackle. It's like a fake maul, but he just pops it up. It's one man. Yeah, Priestland needs to stop him there, doesn't he? He really does have to stop him there. You'd have to say, but. Exeter needed that, didn't they? You felt like they needed it, and they had been pushing for the last 5 minutes or so.
I would say probably a big concern about London Irish. Considering I think we would beat London Irish if we had our players back. London Irish, that's the strongest team that London Irish had yesterday. But from Coleman and O'Brien, that was their strongest, fullest team. That I would be. They're a very good team. I really like the way they played, but I think there's a lot of other teams that got a lot of players to come back first.
They do. Simmons has added the 2 points, so it is 13 points to 7 to Bath with about 10 minutes to go until half time. So on Tuesday we'll do a live reaction to them as they come in live.
Red card in the Gloucester game. Red card for Ollie Forley.
What's happened there?
No, I just saw it and then it come up with red card. Red card means he's going to be suspended for next week and the week after. I will try and see what.
Try and find out what happened. But yeah, with those European games, we will do a watch on the channel for that, and we'll keep an eye on how that goes. In the Heineken Champions Cup, there are some huge teams in there. You've got Racing, you got Leinster, you got Wasp, Bordeaux, Munster. There's so many great teams in there. So it'll be interesting to see those matchups, to see how they go.
Yeah. I think you're underperforming. Yeah, but the difference is England. That is England comparing to their club is totally different. That's like it's totally different. Wales were a better side, and obviously know that. But you can't just say it's all on there. It doesn't. If you take Sheedy's a lot better. They were the much better side, but it's totally different players in a totally different system. It's totally different, and I think Cardiff Blue should be doing a lot better than they are. But I feel I'd rather face Zebra, Ajon, Bennett on first because I think we can attack them. But you never know. You're probably one of the Welsh sides. I'm pretty sure we'll get to English side. I think it's going to happen. I see them probably. I wouldn't be surprised if Cardiff Blues got someone like London Irish, because that would be a good game.
Yeah. We haven't really discussed it yet. The England versus Wales game. I get a massive smile on my face whenever I talk about it. What were your thoughts on that game? Let's talk about England's performance first of all. Very ill-disciplined once again, wasn't it, for you guys?
Oh my God! There might be a card here again.
Another red?
No. In this Gloucester game, there could be a card. You concentrate on the Exeter game. I'm trying to see what happened here.
You let me know when you see what happens. I'll keep an eye on this.
There might be a punch in the face from Wasps. Might be a punch in the face. I can't see.
Oh my word! Punch in the face.
Then I can't. I don't. It's very hard to see. Fekatoa slams him in the back, and then it was Bahar and Shovels, and it looks like Amanga might have hit him in the face. I can't really tell. It's very hard to see because it's on a very small screen.
When things become clearer, do let us know. Let's keep an eye on this Bath one as Bath are attacking here. Falatau tackled, but knocks it on. I think Exeter are looking to play from this line out. Yes, they are. Straight away, throwing it out to Simmons. Takes it into contact.
I haven't seen Stuart Hogg this whole game.
I think he's touched the ball once, maybe, in this game. But it's not really been counter-attacking rugby from Exeter at all. It's very much been, they've been in the 22, they've gone through the phases, and then they've got a trial for driving maul. Lovely feet from a flat. Oh, he's so close to getting through there. Exeter making a little bit of ground here. They'll be looking to get another score before the half-time whistle.
They get a try before half-time, changes the game, and I would be Witten half.
Breaking through here. Oh, there's a man over here. It's a poor pass, though.
Jack Inard, it's not who you really want to.
No, you don't want him out on the wing, do you, to be honest. Is Exeter starting to move the ball a bit quicker here and getting through some phases. Ball comes out wide here. There is an opportunity. There's a man spare. If they can get the offload, he can't quite. Great tackle from Mercer. Ball is out. Advantage here to Exeter.
If they, I think it Hogg. He hasn't even got dirt.
No.
Dirt marks on his shirt. It was head-on-head collision. That's why. Oh, it's a head-on-head collision by a red card. Wasps have got a yellow card there, though. They've got a yellow card. Who it's for? Yeah. So yes. So yellow. There was a yellow
card. The corner there. Yeah, it is a disappointment, isn't it, to see that one. Both teams cannot face each other in Europe, but it'd be nice to have some European games back once again. We've still got over a month until the actual ties are taking place, but those should be some good games for sure. Line out here to Exeter. They've lost their line. Oh, but they've collected it. But no, Bath have got it. Bath have got it.
I would have to say I think French. I think Racing or French. I forgot Racing were in the tournament. I forgot about them. But if I had to choose one to win, I think Racing or Toulouse will win it. And I would have to say, I think if English club is going to win the Challenge Cup. I don't see a...
Yeah, I think looking at the Challenge Cup, it's hard to look past someone like Quins or Northampton. But then Ulster, watch Ulster as well. Ulster will be really strong in the competition.
I think it'd be Ulster, Quins or Saints that win it.
Yeah.
I think it's... And I just... Voto, Simmons, O'Flaherty nearly half through the gap.
Lovely dummy there. They are pushing close here. They really want something before half-time.
If they get
just 5 minutes.
This game, I'm saying it changes the game. This game opens up.
Definitely will do. I mean, if Bath can go in the lead like this at half-time, it'd be massive for them. Here comes the passing through. Lovely from Simmons. Simmons pushing towards the 5-metre line, tackled. I think Bath might have turned this one over. No, they haven't.
Now, this is a good... I think considering Bath have controlled everything in this half, they'll be really disappointed to go in behind.
Yeah.
I just don't...
keep the discipline as well, don't they?
Because if you get
4 minutes to go now.
Oh, this is close.
They have slowed down a little bit here, just pick and go. Lost a little bit of momentum. Richie Gray takes it.
Johnny.
Johnny Gray. I always get confused between both of them.
They both look the same, realistically. Yeah. Just plays for a different club. That's the only reason.
I think Richie Gray's out in France, isn't he?
I think he's at Glasgow.
Has he gone back to Glasgow? He might. He went out to cast for a while. I think Exeter have scored here. Yes, they have.
Massive. And it's again 13 tries this year. And it's another try for Sam Simmons.
Wow. How this guy, quickly then, as we're talking about him, how is he not in the England squad? What is going on there?
It's been stubborn, Eddie. Eddie's been really stubborn. And Marcus Smith should be in there. That's another conversation another day. I could say many things on that.
44 tries in 60 games, by the way, for Simmons. That's an incredible stat, isn't it?
No, I'd say at the moment he's probably up there in the top, like 3 number 8. I think he's one of the best number 8s in the world on form.
Yeah.
So I would have to say in the top 3. I can't think. He's definitely the best in the Premiership. I can't say that. And Warren Gatland's there. I would not be surprised if he went on that Lions tour. I would not
played for England much at all. That'd be quite crazy, wouldn't it? But
a penalty, Gloucester, 10-0 Gloucester.
10-0 to Gloucester in that one. But Bath here are probably going to go behind with this conversion, you'd assume, from his brother, looking to get the conversion here. How them two are not in the England squad is... I mean, I can understand Joe Simmons to an extent, but Sam Simmons makes no sense.
Joseph, Marcus, I'd rather have Marcus Smith than... Oh, he's missed it. He
has missed it, indeed. That's quite an easy kick.
Yeah. But considering I don't see... being 13-0 up in this game, that would be a bit worrying because that's 1 point. And Chiefs were a better side in the second half. No, a much better side. And I would have to say that's a poor kick from Gloucester. They had a penalty and they missed touch there, so they'll run it. Tom de Glanville with it now. But I'll be looking forward to seeing how both. I do think last night. I don't know what your opinion as Nigel Owens doesn't play international refs. Who would say? I would say again last night. I think Wayne Barnes is the best ref in the world at the moment.
Oh yeah, definitely.
With Nigel Owens gone, footwork. With Nigel Owens gone, I would have to say he's the best one in the world. I'd say Nigel Owens was. Yeah, Mer with it. He's got the footwork being tackled. Oh, it's knocked it on. You can't let this guy with free space.
A minute to go in this first half, though.
Oh, they've taken Gloucester are through. They've got this ball. Can they get it in? And is it going to be a try for Gloucester? Gloucester has scored to bring it 15-0.
Oh, wow. Gloucester really pushing ahead in this one now. We will, as I said, be keeping an eye on all the rugby this afternoon.
Harris, and that is a worrying sign for Wasps.
Yeah, very worrying for Wasps indeed. Yes, we have. Have you noticed that, Freddie? That on their shirt they have the country that they play for.
They have it every week.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for years. I'm not surprised about it. I think you're just going to see a ball to touch it. They're going to kick it.
So I think Exeter get this off. Oh, looking just going to run the clock down, aren't they? Which is fair enough.
And out it goes.
Out it goes. So at half time, Bath leading 13 points to 12. Just before we have a quick break for half time, Freddie, your thoughts on that first half?
Just gone 17-0 Gloucester there. But I'd have to say, if I was, I would be worried for Bath, but happy. Chiefs, I'd be happy, but I'd be more pleased that they've come away with being 13-12 instead of 13-0 down to come back in that half. And Bath, no, Chiefs are a second half side. They are so much better in the second half. And I'd be worried. I'll be very interested. I think it's going to be a tight game, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens. And I think that try just before half time was absolutely crucial to this game, I feel.
Yeah, I think it was crucial. Half time then, Bath leading 13 points to 12. It is half time here, though. And we will be back soon. We're just going to take a quick 2-minute break. We're going to have a look at some of the stats from the first half. And we're going to have a quick chat about the other games that have happened today as well. Keep the conversation going on in the chat. I see a few comments have come in, and we will get to them when we come back. But we are going to jump off here just for a second, and then we will get to your comments as well and have a chat about them. So make sure that you don't go anywhere. Make sure that you're subscribed, that you like the video, and feel free to share the stream out with your friends. We'll be back in a second. So there we go. It is half time down at the Rec. Bath leading Exeter 13 points to 12. Just before we get Freddie back in, just a reminder, we are doing the Ulster versus Leinster live watch along here on the channel, 7:15. Coverage starts at around 7:15 with kickoff at 25 to 8. Also, there'll be a preview dropping for that around about 5 o'clock. So be sure to check that one out when it does drop. And keep your questions coming in the chat. It's always great to hear from you on all things rugby. Let's get Freddie back into the chat then. Freddie, a very interesting half of rugby. I was very, very impressed by the way Bath played for probably about 20-25 minutes of that game, but Exeter really coming back into it, weren't they?
Yes, yeah, very. I think they played very well. A good game. They've got to do this, start well. And if they don't start well in the second half, I think the game's going to slip away from them. Because Exeter's stage in their game is in the last 20 minutes. I think it's going to be close. Hopefully. I think it'll be close. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half. Yeah,
definitely. You are doing a watch along, of course, for Worcester against Bristol later this evening. I'm going to drop a link to in the chat. Do go over there, subscribe, and hit the reminder on the watch along. I'm going to put it in the chat now for you to check it out. So, what time are you going live, Freddie?
I'll go probably probably about 5 minutes past 5. And then when that finishes, I can head you over to Brandon for his watch along so then you can watch alongs all afternoon.
Absolutely. So it's in the chat there, folks. So do go and check it out. Click on that link, hit the reminder, and subscribe if you haven't to Freddie's channel already. Let's go through some of your questions. Ben says about Wayne Barnes with this conversation just before we went off for half time. Wayne Barnes' clarity in speech is what puts him ahead and shoulders above the rest. The players and spectators know exactly why he makes every decision. Agreed 100%. The way that he talks to players, especially if they're doing something at the breakdown, he's like, leave it. And he speaks to you, he says your name, so you know exactly who he's speaking to. There's no confusion or anything like that.
I think I really like, what's his name, Luke Pearce. And I think Luke Pearce is second best. Wayne Barnes' head, but I think Luke Pearce is starting to come on the international stage now, and he's looked really good as a ref. And I think he's a really good ref. I think second best referee in the Premiership. I don't know about Wales, but he's a really upcoming, really good one in the future. A try has been scored by Wasps, making it half time. Wasps 7, Gloucester 7. No, I thought they scored. No, it's been chalked off. Gloucester 0, Gloucester 17, with Ollie Forley headbutted. They said on the thing, so he got a red card. So it looks like he's going to be suspended.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Gregor Galway just keeping us up to date on Rugby Europe, of course, which has kicked off this weekend. We saw Russia against Romania early on. I'll double check what the score of that was. You can actually watch that live and for free on their website. All you have to do is register. It's completely free, and then you can watch the games live. So one of them kicked off at about 12 this month, so I was watching it in the background while doing a few bits on the flats.
Yeah, let us know what your Twitter is, or your Twitter, geeks in the comments below, and then we can get see, and then I can look at your channel and subscribe them if you're still on the chat now.
Yeah, definitely. Rugby Geeks actually asks a really interesting question. What are your thoughts on ring fencing leagues? I think it kills 75% of excitement from games. The Premiership obviously have made the decision to ring fence the league this season. What are your thoughts on that? You weren't in danger of being relegated, were you? But for the likes of Gloucester and Bath as well, and for Worcester, it's a massive thing for them, isn't it? Knowing that they're safe.
I just read what is just in the chat.
Roman Pratt, as I like to call him, Roman Pratt. But there you go.
Understand why they've actually ring fenced. The reason they ring fence is because of the money and the sustainability of the Premiership in the future. That's the reason they've done it. And the cancelled games, oh my God, Gloucester have had no cancelled games, but London Irish have had many cancelled games. You can see the Premiership had to do it because it would have gone to court. It would have gone to court because they would have lost thousands and thousands of money going down to the Championship. So they had to do that this year. I don't like it. For rugby as a fan, I think the league is so much worse without it. But people forget it's relegation. We're still seeing some amazing rugby. So I think it will allow teams to open up a little bit more. But I just feel, I do think it will be better for the. I wanted relegation to go ahead, but obviously it's clearly not going to be going ahead now. But I don't like the idea that for Rugby Geeks.
Let's have a look at the stats from this game so far then, just before the second half does kick off. I'll get it up on the screen now for us to be able to have a look at the stats and the big talking points of the half. So let me just share my screen so we can see it, and we will go through the stats. So this is the stats from the first half. So Exeter with the majority of the ball, 54% possession to the 46 of Bath, with territory at 50 apiece. Bath, I think we've noticed it throughout the game, have had a lot more oomph going forward, have really made a lot more ground, and that's shown with their meters gained, with their carries, and with the amount of passes that they do. Again, though, the tackling from Exeter may be a little bit worrying, missing 10 tackles out of and only making that 67 probably isn't all that great. The battle of the breakdown, we spoke about this, the battle of the back row, 8 turnovers for Bath, 7 for Exeter. It makes it really, really interesting. And line-outs there, 4-1 for Bath, 5-1 for Exeter. And then, as you can see, tries there. Discipline, 0 yellow cards, 0 red cards in this one. And there on the right, you can see the big moments in the game. So we started with a penalty for Reece Priest, and then Rory McConaughey got a try conversion from Priest on that. Another penalty, then O'Flaherty scored that try that Priest probably should have tackled him, really. And then Sam Simmons got a try, didn't he? And he's been incredible this season. 44 tries and 60 appearances in the Gallagher Premiership is quite something. So it's been a fairly even game looking at those statistics, hasn't it? But Bath would probably be a bit annoyed that they're this close in the game, won't they?
Yeah, they're this close, letting them back in, and that's something that you can't do to Chiefs. If you let them back in, they'll take that confidence in, they'll take it in, and they'll want to improve. And that going 1 point behind, I think that try, it's all on the start. If Chiefs start better, I think Chiefs will go on to win. If Bath start better, Bath will go on to win. I think it's all about the start. Whoever starts better will win this game. But I think if I was a Bath fan, I would be very worried because you're 1 point down and you had a 30-0 lead. That's something to question about the way they've been allowed back in. That's something you just can't do with the European champions.
Definitely agreed. Let's talk about some of the other games that have happened today. So at half-time in the other Premiership game, it is Gloucester leading by 17 points to 0. We've had a red card in it, though. Thorley going off at 28 minutes. Also, today, already in the Pro 14, we've had a game. The early kickoff was Zebra against Glasgow. Glasgow Warriors winning out in Palmer, winning that one 31 points to 20. Thompson, Dobie, Gordon and Grigg getting tries there. Bellini getting
I really worry for Glasgow next year. With Adam Hastings going, Blair's going, Hugh Jones apparently going, I've Ali Price rumoured to be going.
Yeah.
It's very worrying time if you're a Glasgow fan now, because players are leaving. They've got to do something about it.
They've got some exciting youngsters coming through. Thompson at 10, I think, is a really exciting youngster. Doddy Weir's, not Doddy Weir, definitely not. Duncan Weir, sorry, is heading back to Glasgow for next season. So it'll be interesting to see.
Downgrade, I think, in Weir to Hastings is a downgrade by quite. I think it is it's quite a bit of a downgrade.
Definitely.
Weir's very inconsistent. I would have. He's good some weeks, but some really poor, really other weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they'll lose a lot. I think if you want to be a Challenge Cup team, I think it's good. Want to be a mid-table team or bottom-end team, I think that's the choice.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk a little bit about the other game. Of course, this game has just restarted. Toulouse beat Brive 42-17 to Corey Cross, Aldegeri, Cremont, and 2 penalty tries for Toulouse gave them the win. And let's go through some of your comments. Darren Parkin says, did I hear you say you're streaming the Super Rugby? Not the Super Rugby itself, no, but I'm considering doing watch-alongs for it. Obviously, the timing is going to be very difficult, so I'll have to find a game that's a reasonable time for me. Which
7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, some of them are like 8:45 in the morning, which I could do. I'm not all clued up on Super Rugby, so I'd have to do my research, but I'll have a look over the next few weeks at some of the fixtures, and then we'll crack on with that. Rugby Geek says player behaviour has to change. This red card counts again ridiculous. Look, players know what they're doing. They know what if they're doing is right or wrong. It's about players need to be educated, and they need to learn.
Good tackle.
I think the issue for some of these players, though, is that the way the game was reffed maybe a couple of years ago even is so different to the way it's been reffed today.
You're going to see a difference in a couple of months. It's going to take time. It's not going to be something that's going to be fixed overnight. It's going to take time. We saw this with the high tackle area, and not high tackle, in the air. That's changed now, apart from the case a couple of weeks ago. But I think you're going to see it. I think it's changed massively, and I think you're going to see exactly the same in the ruck. I think you're going to see. Okay, I think probably the worst one probably was last night for Irish. He had the opportunity. Paddy Jackson was tackling someone, and he had the ruck. He hit his shoulder. Didn't need to do that. He just stood up and went like that. You clearly the worst one out of all of them.
It's like the one we saw between Bath and Gloucester a couple of weeks ago. The first one, where it's just an elbow straight to the face, and it's so obvious, isn't it? Gregor talks about Leona Nakarawa, of course, is heading to Ulster. Looked very unfit in that game against Leinster for Glasgow. Looked very, very unfit in that game.
Play what once was.
No, I don't think so. He needs to get his fitness back. And apparently his attitude at Glasgow, as Exeter are looking to attack here. Hogg with the ball for the first time, but he's knocked it forward.
I think I'm just a bit ahead of you. He knocked it on. Great defence work from Will Merther. But when they could just showing them when they get a bit of width going, this Chiefs can attack quickly. Hogg was half through the gap. If he goes down, I think they recycle a phase, and that was a bit of a worrying danger for Bath.
Yeah. What do you think would have been the message from Rob Baxter to the players at half time? What do you think he'd have been telling them?
Discipline, defence needs to be better, and just I think he'll be discipline and defence will be the main crucial thing in this game, and stopping this back line playing.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they can't let. I think their scrum has looked a lot better this week. I think with Abano coming back, I think it was crucial to them.
For sure. Guys, if you haven't yet done so, do subscribe here on Brandon Smith Rugby, and also check out Freddie's channel, FBTC Rugby. I will drop a link to that now in the chat. Do go subscribe to his channel. If you love Premiership Rugby, definitely is the channel for you. I will drop that in the chat now, so you can go and subscribe over there.
It's knock on by Chiefs there.
There we go. Freddie's channel is linked in the chat, so do go and hit that subscribe button for him if you have not done so already. Freddie knows so much on the Premiership, and I'm learning a lot, so we're getting there. But obviously, I watch a lot more Pro 14 usually.
One problem with I watch all the European games, but the problem we don't have coverage in the UK for any of this Pro 14 content. That's the problem. I can't watch any of the Pro 14 unless it's in Europe. When they play in Europe, that's the only time. But I don't. That's a good coverage you are lucky to have in the not Premiership, but in Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. You watch games, but for some reason we can't. There's no coverage of the Pro 14 whatsoever.
I think the Pro 14, the ways you can watch it here in Wales, obviously you can watch on S4C, which is the Welsh language channel. If one of the Welsh regions are on, I think they get one game per round. I think that's the contract that they've signed. BBC Two, Wales used to have a contract where they'd show a game every round. That got scrapped last year. And actually the highlights programme, Scrum 5, which had been going on for years, was originally scrapped but then brought back. Obviously now we've got Premier Sports as well, which is a way to watch it. That's about, I think it's about £7 or £8 per month. And that's got every single game on there, every Pro 14 game on there. You get some La Liga games from the Spanish Football League, a little bit of Italian football as well. But then for the Premiership, you have only got BT Sport. Occasionally they do a game on Channel 4 or 5. I can't remember which one. The highlight show I know is on Channel 5 every Monday night. But I think, there's been talks, obviously, about the Six Nations going behind a paywall, which I think would be awful for rugby. Six Nations is the one tournament that a lot of people watch, isn't it?
It's not going to be on free-to-air TV anymore. It's stupid. It's going to go to Sky. We all know it's going to happen. But I will just have to deal with it. But we'll have to see what happens in the. They put it down there, but yeah, good. I'll be interested to see what happens. That I think it will go to Sky. It's going to go to. I would much if it's going to go to anyone. I'd rather go it to Amazon because we can get people from America across the world because Amazon is such a big company. More people are going to see it on Amazon Prime, and because they promoted the Alternation Cup, they promoted it so well, a lot better than BT Sport does for the Premiership and Premier Sports do for Pro 14. I think they got to, and I personally, that'd be my favourite one to go to. Oh, what an offload! Oh, they're through. They're through. Oh, we needed to give that ball away there.
Surely that was forward, that pass.
I don't know, but it was great. Great. He should have offloaded it really to Spencer, and he would have been under.
Indeed. Let's have a look at some of the things in the chat. Can't be watching Welsh. There's far much too phlegm for me. I pick it up on Supersport. My darling sister is in the chat. I don't like you. Go away. I love you. I love you, really. And Dave Carney, how about 71 was in the chat. Yesterday's Munster one. Really? You're doing well, my friend. Good to see you as well. But this game is poising up to be a very, very interesting game.
Closer than I thought it would be, but I think Chiefs were quite poor in that first one. See, if he gives that ball there, he would have been through Ben Spencer under the post. Yeah,
a bit greedy, wasn't he? A little bit greedy there, you'd have to say.
Yeah, on the side. Very interesting. I think Bath they're so inconsistent. That's the thing with my problem with Bath. He gives it then, but they've got to be more consistent if they want to be a competitive top 4 side, in my opinion.
Definitely.
And that's the difference. I think if any, I think Worcester were going to go down this year. I think Worcester are the worst team in the Premiership. I would say they're
even worse than Gloucester. Do you think?
It's very hard to tell. They're very close, but Worcester are beating Worcester at the moment. So who knows?
Yeah, definitely. Just quickly to update people, there are some games kicking off in France. So Bayonne are hosting Lyon, that's currently 0-0. Bordeaux are hosting Pau, that is currently 10-0 to Bordeaux. Castres are hosting La Rochelle, Castres leading 3-0, and Stade Francais 7-0 up against Agen. So games going on today.
It was a poor pass that worked quite well for Bath.
Yeah, Bath trying to pass it out. It's opened up this game, hasn't it, in the second half? A lot more open running, a lot more space for both teams, but quite a few little mistakes going on.
Georgia are now leading, according to Gregor. The game's winning. I think Georgia, they talk about this Italy that you've obviously done on the Welsh Roundup show.
Yeah.
But I think Georgia didn't show anything different to Italy. And I think people would rather see attacking rugby. It's a bit like Leeds in football. They'd rather see a relegation team play good attacking rugby, or Simmons got it. Then play forward-based. You're saying Georgia play a forward-based game. I think they'd rather see entertaining rugby.
Yeah, well, actually, interestingly that you say that. I did recently do a video on this about Italy. Are they good enough for the Six Nations? And I had a look at games between Italy and Georgia in the past. They've only played each other twice, and both times Italy have won. And in the Autumn Nations Cup, I actually thought that Georgia were really, really poor. They actually lost quite heavily against Fiji. And Fiji had half their squad to pick from because of the COVID outbreak that they had. And it was so easy for
I would like knock on Porth and Hogg there. But I would like to see, this might be controversial, I would like to see Fiji in the Six Nations.
No.
I would like to see, because I know it's not right, but I would like to see Fiji because they bring a different style to the game. I think they really impressed. I think they could have really impressed in the Autumn Nations Cup if they were given the opportunity.
I think it's an interesting debate, isn't it? It's about these tier 2 nations. How do you ensure that they play against quality opposition all the time to improve? For me, with For me, with the Six Nations, I think you just go with a relegation promotion system so that the top team in the Rugby Europe, which would probably be Georgia, maybe Russia or Romania, 1 year may win it. A couple of changes here for Bath. Reed is on for Underhill and Judge is on for Thomas. But yeah, so that it'd probably be Georgia would probably play Italy at the minute, maybe play our neutral venue, playoff match. Whoever wins that, you either get to stay in the Six Nations or you go up. But England Rugby aren't going to agree to that. The Welsh Rugby Union aren't going to agree to that. Because imagine if one of those countries had a really poor year like this year. If England could finish 5th this year, because you've got France and Ireland left to play, which are 2 really tough games. I can't see you beating France.
I would rather.
Ireland is tough. Ireland is tough. So
I would rather win. I'd rather France win it than Scotland and Wales.
Any reason?
No, I just run and then. But the main point I want, I'd rather Wales win because Scotland haven't won a trophy in less than 20 years.
Mm.
And it's true.
I think it is true. I think with England, though, it's like, imagine England had a really bad year where they finished 6th. I can't see it happening in the next 10 years. But let's say they did, and they went and played against Georgia, and for whatever reason, they played a really bad game and Georgia beat them. There's not going to be enough money in there, is there, for them? And they're not going to agree to that.
I know, and they're not going to agree to it. I have to say, I do like the way Scotland play. They're very good, but I think England, I think this is probably the best thing for England, finishing 5th. It did them the world of good. They did World Cup and were much better the year after. So that's, I would say that they're coming at attack here. De Glanville kicks it. Hogg.
Interesting choice to kick. Bit of a waste, you'd have to say, there from Bath. Interesting comment there from Dave Carney. Says, no, I can actually see the USA coming into a European competition, to be honest. I can't see that happening. Major League Rugby has just kicked off. It's just about to kick off. Sorry, for its 3rd season. It's doing really, really well over there. I am actually doing a preview with the guys from the MLR Rugby Ramp podcast, which will drop next in 2 weeks' time ahead of the season kicking off over there. I can't see that happening. They've pumped a lot of money into the game over there. There's talks that Jaguares from Argentina could potentially join that competition. But, I can't see that happening, if I'm being totally honest. I'd be really surprised. Really surprised it happened.
I think they've lost so many players in this tournament. They've lost... Oh, that's a poor offload from Barno there. Hogg.
Down, though. But Hogg will have a chance to clear it properly, which he does. But yeah, I can't see the USA getting into the European market. I think for Major League Rugby, they need to be... Faletau trying the little chip over the top. Was he obstructed? Exeter not really able to clear their lines here. This is not looking too good for Exeter. And the player stopped.
I think it's a penalty. Yeah, so Ben, I agree with you, but he won't do it. Everyone in the Premiership, everyone in England knows it will not happen. But to be fair, I think you got players that I can see why Spencer's not been selected. I don't think Spencer's not as good as Robson is. Robson's a much better player. I think he offers more.
How is Simmons not in the squad though? Sam Simmons.
I can't see why Simmons and Smith are. How are they not there? I think he's chosen 2 young players in. I think Eddie Jones' system. I think Don Brandt's a very good system for Eddie Jones. He's a physical ball carrier. I think that's more if they're going on systems. He's a better system player for them. Simmons is much. It's a penalty, Bath. There. I thought it was the penalty the other way because it looked like he hadn't.
Well, if you're Bath here, I think you take the points, right? If Priestland's confident to get this, I think you take the points. But yeah, I think back to the Six Nations promotion relegation thing, I just can't see that happening anytime soon. Unfortunately, I think it needs to happen for the game to grow and for teams to develop. And back to Ben's comment on that England thing with Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones isn't going anywhere until at least after the World Cup. It's not going to happen. It's the same with Pivac now. Pivac is doing really well, but with Eddie Jones, he must be one of the highest paid coaches in the world without a doubt. Priestland is going for the post. We'll let you know if he gets it. He's the highest paid coach in the world. I think so. I'd be surprised if anyone is above him. Maybe, no, I can't think of anyone who would actually be above him. So they're not going to get rid of him anytime soon until after the next World Cup. There's not that long until the next World Cup, and who knows how disruptive the next year is going to be with COVID. Priestland going for the posts. He is successful.
Try. Wasps 12, lost to 17.
Oh, so an interesting game going on in the other one in the Premiership. But Bath here are leading 15 points to 12. It's going to make for an interesting rest of the half, but I can't see Eddie Jones going anywhere. I don't know. It's interesting with Eddie Jones because I don't know if he's just really stubborn or if he, with some players, he simply just doesn't get on with them or he doesn't like their style of play or whatever it is. It's like with Wales with Webb. How Webb is not in that squad. He's the Form 9 in Wales in the Pro 14 this season. He's been the Form 9. His stats back that up. And he's just not being picked. And apparently Pivac had a word with him and said it's because of his speed of ball. But I don't believe that, really. So there might be something going on there. John Cooney with Ireland. How John Cooney is not in that squad. He's the best scrum half in the Pro 14. Probably the second best in Europe after DuPont. So how he's not in the Ireland squad is beyond me as well. So I think something is going on. There's got to be. You cannot pick someone. You can't ignore someone that good. Hepburn is off for Moon. So that change has happened. Thomas Francis is also on with Williams going off. Thomas Francis obviously coming over to the Ospreys next season, coming back to Wales. Cordero is down here injured. This doesn't look good if you're an Exeter fan, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Don't know who, but it's interesting to see what they do. But I just don't see what's that made.
Yeah, that's an interesting comment. I think though what happened was that Pivac tried to play too much too early. I think in the first game of the Six Nations against Ireland last year, Stockdale, I remember, had half the pitch to play with because we were playing so narrow in our system and it simply didn't work. I think he's realised that he has to get the balance right. So he's built the foundations, got the confidence of the players up. We've done simple things well. Yes, we've been lucky. Not lucky because they were rightly red cards in both games. And I mean, with the two first tries in the England game, there can be some debate about that, of course. But we've deserved to win our games. We've deserved to win our games. And that's just how it's been. So against Italy, I'd like to see some rotation. People like Sheedy, I'd love to see him start at 10, see what he can do from the off, because he's really impressed me. And then obviously we have France then. But I think Pivac has now started to get his ideas across, but he's probably got a lot more ideas, but he knows that he's got to be patient with them before implementing all of them. But yeah, our squad is looking really good, but a few injuries. But apart from that, we're looking pretty strong, and we will be doing watch-longs for all the games next weekend, of course.
I think people Underhill has been massive a loss for England. I don't think people would realise it. How important he works with Tom Curry is unbelievable. He's a massive, lets Tom Curry to get over the ball and do all his work too, and takes the pressure off him a little bit. And that's why it works so well. And I think they've knocked that ball on. And that is poor from Bath. Very, very poor.
Yeah, really poor. We'll give Exeter a good opportunity to go from an attacking scrum. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do from here. Still, Bath leading this one. I've got the score wrong. 16 points to 12 in this one.
Yeah, they
just so a little bit of a gap for them.
Back shape. Just watch there on that inside line. They did it against Sale. Came round the corner, and he's got a great try. I would just worry around Bath. Just have to worry around him on the corner.
Yeah.
Looks like Marlin has come off for Kirsten earlier. I didn't see that earlier.
No, I didn't either. But big scrum needed here from Bath. The ball goes in straight away for Exeter here. Scrum's not moving at all. They're going to have to play this. Waiting for the ball to come out. Comes out here. Here come Exeter. There's men out wide. This could be dangerous. Oh, it's a brilliant tackle. Oh, no, Priestland's missed the tackle.
That is a crucial. That he shouldn't have let that happen. Kirsten.
Exeter coming forward now. Dancing around up to the 5 metre line.
Oh, this is close. If they allow them to play, it could be a massive game changer. That looked a bit like a knock on to me. I thought he knocked that ball on. It might just be me.
I think it was okay though. Meter. Oh, maybe. Looking at that. Oh, not sure. Here we go again.
Thurston
Out.
One more phase, I think.
Advantage here to Exeter. Thomas Francis goes for the line. He's held short.
He's short. Is it going to be? No, it's not. It's Johnny. It's Johnny Gray, is it?
I think he's got there. That should be a try. I think he's got there. My reaction was that he's got there.
Short.
Referee says no.
Okay,
20 minutes to go as Exeter push. Another advantage for Exeter here. Someone could go to the bin. Has that gone forward? Let's see what the ref says. This could be trouble for Bath. 4 penalties on the bounce there, something like that. What's the ref going to say here? Let's have a listen.
Nothing. It's just a penalty. They're saying, wait. Yeah. I think they've. Oh, they're coming right in front of the post. They are going to pick and go. If they score, it changes the momentum of the game because they will go ahead.
It does indeed. Here we go then. Exeter tap and go from the 5-metre line. Big hits coming in. Big defensive shift needed here from Bath.
Okay, come on. Now, have they got it? Have they got it down?
Referee's still looking. He says it's short. This isn't going to go very far. It's going to be pretty much pick and go, you think. They got the ball. They're literally a metre or less out here. Gray with the ball at the base of the ruck, trying to find it.
Okay.
Pushing. Here we go. Are they over the line? Are they held up? Referee's looking. And he says it is held up, I believe. I think he's going to check this, though.
I don't see this being a try. It's all on the question.
Yeah, it depends what the ref wants to see. Is he going to ask, is there any reason why I cannot award a try? He says clearly held up.
And back to check the one that Johnny Gray couldn't get out of. It's going to be a ruck.
He's going to check this one. This is a massive moment in the game, you feel.
Five white. Yeah, it's eggs and bread and butter, and that's what makes them so good at it. They get there and they're very useless. Very
good. Here
we
go. Just looking here.
Skinner.
Oh, has he got that down?
He's got that down, it looks like. I can't tell it. It looks like he may just short. Is it just clipped the...
I'm not sure. That's not the angle. This second angle is not the angle that we want. The first angle was the best one, I'd say.
It's still 55 minutes.
My initial reaction is he's just short. I think just short.
The reason I think it's the question. If he said it was a try, I think it would be given, but it's clearly not a try. They said they have no try on field.
Yeah, they can't get an angle on that. They can't see it that well. So who knows whether that's touched the line or not? Yeah, you can't see, can you?
You're probably going to get. That's not the angle you're going to see. It's the first angle we need to see, and that was the big. Oh, it's just Bowden Barrett is watching this Exeter game, watching the game and seeing how many yellow bibs are on the field.
Bowden Barrett's out in Japan now, isn't he? Yeah, he's out there.
It's held up.
No try from them. Let's have a look at some of your comments then. Dave Connie says, can't understand why Cooney not involved with Ireland. Absolutely. Rugby Geeks, as Freddie said, this Exeter's bread and butter. They rarely leave points from here. Well, they'll be going again from this scrum 5 metres out. Great defence from Bath, and it was short indeed.
Rugby Geeks, let us know in the comments below. Yeah, they've taken Dave Ewers off, so they're really trying to build this physical pack here. And I think Dave Ewers is left. He should have been sent off against Saints the other week, in my opinion. Wasn't, but he should have been. So
20 minutes to go here. Exeter with a big scrum here.
They're
going to restart it. Reset. This is one of the most annoying things in rugby is resetting of the scrum. It's
not rugby. It's scrum.
It's the pain in my life. I think if you reset twice, and if it doesn't happen, I don't know. Do you do a tap and go, or what do you do? I'm not sure, but
I think the way they could do it, if you concede first, you get a warning. If you concede second, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
If it goes down once, okay, there. If it goes down again, both teams, even if it's not your team, you get a warning.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put this in. I wouldn't be surprised if they try a little swerval movement in this game. Are they gonna? I mean, Thomas Francis is. I don't rate Thomas Francis.
That's nothing happening from the scrum there. Referee wants it
to make that tackle.
5 meters out, less than 5 meters out. This could be a try for Exeter, and they have scored.
And it's a try for Sam Skinner. Over the line they go, and Exeter take the lead at Bath. What a start
try for Chiefs. It's been coming. You have to say it's been coming for the last, 5-10 minutes at least. It is a try for Exeter. Exeter take the lead here, 17 points to 16. Could be a tense finish here. Brilliant try there. Simmons picks and go. Is very strong run, isn't it, from him? He's been brilliant this game once again.
Yes, and there's no other question. It's a mistake from Ben Spencer that's led to that try. He misses the first tackle. When you're playing Simmons, you've got to take out that ruck, or whoever it is, you've got to make that first tackle, and that allows the momentum to take him forward. So I think it's all from a poor mistake from Ben Spencer. Not led to try, but massively helped to the defence after that missed tackle. Couldn't take it. Will he get this one? He should get this one. And now he gets it. 16-19.
Indeed, it is. Exeter take the lead in this one. Hopefully now we'll see Bath coming out and trying to play a little bit more rugby.
Joe Coccosina is on.
He's a big ball carrier and a lot of pace, doesn't he?
Yeah,
not been in the England squad for a long time, has he? What are your thoughts on him?
I think he's got this injury just after World Cup, and he hasn't really returned as good as a player. He's not as good as he once was, in my opinion. I think there's better options out there. I don't know why there are better options, in my opinion, than Coccosini. Defensively, he's really poor, but obviously he's definitely not an Eddie Jones plans.
Absolutely. So Exeter here, 18 minutes to go, a little bit less than that to go.
Great, that's a good tackle from Sam Simmons there. Brought him right on the line.
Back.
Perfect timing.
So if let's say you're Rob Baxter now, and your job is to send a few messages onto the pitch, what was the message you're sending to the Exeter players?
Discipline, 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 defence. When you're in the areas, take the opportunities.
For sure.
And it's not just not what you need. Ben Moon
from Exeter there, and the kick is put through. And what about if you're the Bath, if you're the man in charge of Bath, what are you saying to the players?
I think if you're saying to the players, your discipline has to be good. No simple knock-ons like that, allowing you in your 22. Watching just he misses that tackle there. He's got to make that tackle. Ben Spencer does. If he just in there, he misses a tackle. Just showing the replay, but going back onto it, I think you've got Rob Baxter. You got to get your territory first to try and get in their half. Territory. Tom Dunn coming off. Interesting to see how that happens. Jack Walker on. But they've got to get the territory and they've got to play the game in the right areas. They can't be trying to be playing. And that's just not what Exeter needed. It allows Bath, and that's not what Rob Baxter would have wanted there. And that's just a simple way out for them.
Yeah, it is there. In the line outs, it's so unnecessary. You want to put pressure on the opposite team. You want to make it difficult for them to exit, not give them a very easy exit there. As Bath push towards the halfway line. 8 penalties conceded from Bath, just the 3 for Exeter. So discipline has been an issue for Bath in this one. But just over 15 minutes to go in this one. 3 points in it. It looks like it's going to be a close one.
Saracens by Cornish Pirates.
Saracens have lost once again.
Have they? They get no. I don't know if it's full time.
Saracens are going to beat 18 points to 7 from corners back. Let us know, Faye, how long's left in that.
60. They're 60 minutes in.
60 minutes in.
It's a scrum to Exeter. Paul. Who is it?
Let's have a look here. Jonathan Joseph, indeed.
I think he hasn't been. People will question why he wasn't in the England squad. He hasn't been playing well for Bath, and he had a smaller squad to deal with. But Henry Slade's a better option, and Ollie Lawrence is better than Jonathan Joseph. They won't give him the opportunity, and he's not going to do it. That's another England story. I think they'll look for appeal here, as they see, or they might come round. Joe Simmons is just standing behind the scrum to see where the scrum is going to go, which way it's going to go round.
This is a massive moment in the game, isn't it? If Exeter score here, they'll have a lot of space, whether they'll have a lot of breathing space. But if Bath can get a score, the next score is crucial as Exeter look to attack here.
Good defence.
To the 22, coming through the big, powerful forwards now. Quick ball from Exeter.
Whitton.
Need to see something a little bit different. Out to Simmons. Simmons passes it out.
This is crucial for now. Don't concede a penalty. Do not concede a penalty. Ball
out Simmons. Exeter just upping the tempo a little bit here. This looks dangerous. Brilliant tackle. Is that a high tackle? No.
Not high. It's on the shoulder, apparently.
Great. Take it forward. Again, very quick ball here. Exeter. Simmons. Great tackle there on him. Yes. But again, this ball is being released so quickly as they push towards the 5-metre line. Simmons picks it up, pushes forward. They're getting close here now. Can this Bath hold them out?
Stop it now, or the game could be a big difference.
2 meters out here. Johnny Gray pops it to his man.
The Marlin short.
Gray reached just short as well.
Where are they going to go? They get a try here, Johnny Gray. They're a bit.
Well, let's have a look what the referee is saying here. Are they giving it?
Try.
So get the try. It is a bonus point try as well as Skinner gets his second of the match. And you'd have to say probably now that is game over if they can get this conversion. But Exeter finally really begin to push on this one. 24-16 try for Sam Skinner. And just the speed that Exeter could recycle the ball there was so impressive, wasn't it? The fact that they could pick and go and the speed they were recycling every time getting over the game line. And Bath's defence just simply could not deal with it. Brilliant try for Exeter there. And that makes the score 24 points to 16 in favour of Exeter. 24 points to 16 there.
I think Sam Skinner's looked really good today. I think he scored 2 tries. I'm surprised he's not in that Scotland squad. I was really surprised he wasn't picked. Because I think he can play across the play 6, he can play 4, he can play 5, and he's a very good versatility player off the bench, off maybe 9 on the lock. And I think he would have been disappointed in trying to prove something to Gregor Townsend.
Yeah, definitely. But you got the likes of Hamish Watson in those positions, Jamie Ritchie. I know Jamie Ritchie has struggled with injury, but yeah,
he's a bit like,
he wasn't in there.
He's like Courtney Laws, a second row but can play 6.
Yeah.
That I would have had him over Richie Gray, in my opinion, if I had to choose between him and Richie Gray on the bench. He's missed it.
Misses his conversion, hits the post. It remains 24 points to 60 with just under 12 minutes to go in this one. It's been a close game throughout.
Abano off, Batty on for them. I think Abano will be Ollie Devoto.
This would be a big win, wouldn't it, for Exeter? 2 losses on the bounce. They'll be looking to bounce back here with Bristol, of course, this evening against a very weak team, if we're being honest.
Yeah, and that's just a momentum. You let them clear their lines. This is what something we didn't do yesterday. We gave a penalty. We lost the ball early on, and they scored a try and did 40 seconds. Clear your lines. Get rid of the danger. But obviously, high tackle, and now it allows Joe Simmons to clear downfield.
Yeah, definitely. Any chance of really putting pressure on them. What you want to do when the team receives the ball off the kickoff is you want to give them a hard exit. That's what you want to do legally, give them a hard exit. Doing something like that just makes it so easy for them. The fact that they can just do that, then it's so easy. So, 10 minutes to go in this one then. Exeter Chiefs are leading 24 points to 16. They've got the bonus. Oh, that's a lovely line out. Very cheeky.
It didn't look straight, in my opinion, but they never do anymore. Joe Simmons outside, but creating over options there. Yannis cut a bit behind him, but they'll take that. They've got their pack moving now. That's the worrying thing. As soon as this pack starts to get moving, it is dangerous.
It is. And we saw that with the last try. They were just getting over the gain line time and time again. Their power was just so much. And they are going forward here, but there's a knock-on. Knock-on to Bath as well. So not long to go in this one now.
Yeah, still 60 or with 15 minutes to go, it looks like. They are losing Sarries 18-17 still.
Indeed, they are. And it is 12 points to 17 to Gloucester away from home. Wasps struggling a little bit recently. That would be another big win for Gloucester if they can get that one.
I don't think Wasps aren't really playing that well, I think. I think Gloucester are very inconsistent. I don't think they haven't been that good today. I don't think they've been that good. I think it's probably done. Red card have probably helped them in a way. It's galvanized them to get the win. I think it'll be very interesting to see how they play next week against Mighty Leicester.
Definitely will do, and of course we will be doing a preview of the Premiership next weekend. Even though Six Nations is back, we will be doing a preview ahead of next weekend's games.
If Italy, I just want Italy to get a losing bonus point or something from one of these games, or a try bonus, just to get at least 1 point on the board.
I think for us we will rotate, but I don't think there'll be that much rotation. I expect Gareth Davis will start 9. I expect Sheedy to be given a chance. I'd like someone like both of them to be given a chance.
Bench is 9, back at 9 then.
So Gareth Davis is our backup 9 at the minute, I would say. I think Kieran Hardy's out injured. He's been released back to the Scarlets because of injury. Thomas Williams is meant to be fit, but I think Gareth Davis will start anyway. I'd like to see Sheedy start. I'd like to see Owen Watkin get a start. I'd like to see Wainwright get a start. There'll be a few players I'd like to see the players like Alan Wynne stay in there.
That's poor from Mercer needs to hold that ball, and it's quite poor from him to knock that ball on and then just gives the scrum straight back into Exeter. And this is where just carrying it off there. And that's what Spencer should have done earlier. Get that first tackle in, and then it stops Mercer going anywhere in that game. And they've done really well. I think it's just a bit. I think the difference. They're making that first tackles now.
Yeah.
Chiefs were in the first half. I don't think they were.
No, definitely not. And for Bath, it feels like this game is slipping away a little bit. They're making quite a few mistakes now. Can't get their rhythm going, can they? They are struggling a little bit in this one.
Okay,
they're having a very quiet game this week. Of course, heading over to France next year. Should be interesting to see. Priestland is off here. He doesn't look happy, does he, to be off?
No, but he hasn't played that well.
No.
Showman will offer. He's a very controlled, but Atiya Showman will offer more running threats.
Exeter looking to run it here. This is lovely hands, brilliant hands here. Cordero with a little bit to run, but tackled well by Jonathan Joseph. That's the first time we've really seen Cordero with much ball in hand.
And that's what I mean.
To kill this one off, aren't they now? You'd have to say another try kills this game for sure.
The game's done if they score now.
Oh, definitely.
Well, they're getting the. I
Couple
don't
of
think.
tackles there, I thought, but referee.
I think if they get losing bonus point opportunity goes if they score now.
Yeah. Well, Flannery's trying to dance his way around.
He came from the Ospreys.
Yes, he did.
Did you see the potential he had at Ospreys?
I don't think he was given much of a chance to play all that much. I think at the Ospreys, we've let a lot of players go over the past few years who've gone and done really well. Like Underhill was at the Ospreys and he did show a lot of promise. But at the end of the day, he'd always said that he wanted to play for England. He always said that he was English. So for him to go back over to England made a lot of sense at the time. But we never knew he'd be this good. But for him, yeah, I think, like in Wales, we have this 60 cap law thing, Warren's law. I think it's good to an extent, but also you look at the likes of Finn Russell, who's headed over to France, and how much he's improved by doing that. But for the Welsh players, I don't think heading over to France has really worked. Exeter have knocked it on here, which is a little bit of a waste from them. But yeah, I don't think it really boosted the Welsh players much. But again,
I think she got to that. Look, Bigger's improved so much since he's moved over to England. Players that have gone over to England have improved. Liam Williams improved at Saracens. He's gone back now. But I think they've improved a lot, so much now since they've gone over to England. It shows a difference.
Definitely does. I do think the Pro 14 has a big issue with the level that it is and the quality that it is. But it'll be interesting to see what the South African teams will do, what impact they will have on the team.
I think that's quite good for the Pro 14. I think it will bring a bit of a competitive edge. I think the Cheetahs have lost really good players in Pro 14. I think they've lost like Weezer that came from there. They've lost plenty of good players. I'd never heard of them, but clearly they must have shown something. But I think now this is if they can get a penalty, it's a massive point here with 7 minutes to go because they'll be targeting the losing bonus point.
Definitely. 2 minutes left to go in the Sarries game. Score still remains 18 points to 17 in that one. That's a big game for them. So it's going to be interesting to see what the South African teams can do. Bath have won the penalty at the scrum. So Bath need to get a decent kick on this, get themselves downfield.
Okay, Cadero. Now Hogg.
And let's see what Hogg can do. He hasn't had all that much ball in hand.
Quite a poor spiral bomb, to be fair.
And Bath kick it back. We might have a bit of kick tennis here between both teams. Exeter deciding to run it. Lovely dummy there. Flannery into the open space. He's in here. This would be a brilliant solo try tackle by Falatau. And Falatau has turned it over in the tackle as well. Incredible.
And that was knocked on. I think it was knocked on. I don't think it looked like a knock on. That's just a good
more kicking. So just under 5 minutes to go in this one now.
Play this now. Tom de Glanville. I think he's a really good youngster at Bath. I think he offers something different in that backfield. Has a bit of foot, and he can play 10-2.
Ben Spencer's a bit slow getting to the breakdown, isn't he?
I think
in this game.
Yeah, he's not the quickest scrum half for his age. I think he's great. That's good move. They're moving the ball wide, and this is what they want.
Loose pass from them here, and that's been knocked on, I believe. Have Exeter turned it over? No, Bath keeper apparently went backwards.
But they're playing much harder to play.
It's a big hit coming in there. And that is knocked on. Big hit there, and there'll be a scrum to Exeter on the 22. That's a huge hit coming in from the Exeter boys.
Big kick.
Huge hit.
I love it. Saracens didn't come up from the championship. It'd be amazing. Saracens didn't come up.
Be interesting to see what would happen with all their players, because then, you'd have to say that the likes of Owen Farrell, Mauro Toje, Jamie George, Elliot Daly, all the international stars, there's no way they're going to stay there, is there, if they're still in the championship?
Worcester brought it back to 17-0 now.
So close one. How long left in that one?
with 9 minutes to go.
Close game there.
Close game.
But
And what's your opinion about Thomas Francis coming back to Wales?
I think it makes sense. Oh, Simmons is through here.
That's a poor from the head of whoever was it down the blind side.
Space out wide here. They're dragging defenders in advantage to Exeter here. Simply one more pass will do it. Gray's going to score, and he has scored, and that is game, set, and match.
And there is no bonus point coming from this game, and they've got the conversion. Wasp beating Gloucester 19-17.
And in this game, it's now 29 points to 16. Third try in 10 Premiership matches for Gray. And that is the game, you'd have to say. And Exeter have been the most disciplined, have made the less errors, and that's why they've won this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do agree.
But Simmons at 8 has been so powerful, so dominant, really given the platform for his team. That's 2 or 3 times he's done it now. And he's just been so good. And Eddie Jones has got to be looking at him now. Has got to be looking at him. There's no reason he's not in there.
Oh, could even be more. That's the worrying thing. They've got the bonus point. The game, that is how important that try before half time was now. How important that was. Massive. Going in 1 point to now. That just shows the difference. Yeah, interesting to see.
Yeah, interesting to see your thoughts there, because most wouldn't have a choice with the salary lads. With the Saracens boys, of course, would price most of them out of the market. Yeah, exactly. So some of them will have to take a pay cut. We saw, obviously, with Good, the fullback, he headed out to Japan on loan for the season. How much rugby he's been able to play for them, I'm not too sure. Tompkins came on loan to the Dragons, and he's played pretty well alongside Jamie Roberts. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to the rest of the players. There's only 2.5 minutes left in this game.
Breaking now.
They're from Bath inside, but they've lost it here. Exeter steal it. Hogg is off with Skinner on. Simmons decides to get towards the space.
They'll just want to. This is
2 minutes to go. Guys, don't forget that Freddie's doing a watch long on his channel straight after this game, pretty much. There's a link in the chat. I'll drop a new link in just a second for that one. Bristol against Worcester. Kick off at 5:15 for that one. So you'll be going live about 5 past, if I'm right in saying that.
Yeah. Through again, they've got support. And there it is. And it's another try for Exeter Chiefs. And they brought this game away from Bath now. What a result for Chiefs. This is a big momentum for Chiefs and a confidence boost.
Absolutely is. They needed a big result this week after 2 losses. James Burge has called it earlier. Exeter win by 15. Oh, they're winning by more now, mate. They are winning by more now. And the score is beginning to look a little bit... Oh, got that one wrong. 36. They haven't got the conversion yet, but they probably will. But now beginning to pull away a little bit. 20-point gap here now. You can see they're quite tired now, aren't they? You could see that in that try. But as I just said, Freddie is doing a watch long on his channel for Worcester against Bristol. So I'll drop that in the chat now. So do go and check that out.
It's very interesting looking at the table because I think Worcester will win this. The gap from the bottom 2 is gap. They're both on 15 points at the moment. The gap probably now goes up to 29 with games that's happened now. And Bath are the nearest. There's a 9-point difference between Bath and Worcester, that 11th. So the difference there, quite a bit of a difference. It's worrying for the rest of the Worcester and Gloucester. They're starting to taper away and take away from the other teams.
Yeah, definitely. Lucky there's no promotion and relegation. Simmons adds the 2 points. It is Bath 16, Exeter 38 in this one. 5 seconds to go. Jeez, do Bath just kick it off here? Maybe that's what they think about doing.
Well, I don't know. It depends what they...
Yeah.
No, I think they want it off.
Yeah. Exeter have retained the ball. They'll just kick this one off.
The game is done. Final half, 16. Chiefs 38. Pirates apparently scored a try.
Oh, wow. That game is heading on well for the Pirates against them. But there it is. Final score, 16 points to 38. What a try that is. James Birch says, thing with Exeter, they come alive in the last 20 when the other teams are tired and slipping in discipline. And we saw that today, didn't we, with Bath. Rugby Geek says for Bristol walkover incoming. Well, we'll have to see. As I said, Freddie's doing a watch on his channel. Click that link, hit the reminder, subscribe if you haven't to his channel already. Freddie's going to jump over and do that one in just a second. And quickly, just a reminder for you, this one at 7:15 going live here on the channel. It is Ulster hosting Leinster. Both teams looking to get into the final of the Pro 14. Only separated by bonus points. 7:35 kickoff for that one.
Got me next, and then you got Brandon. If you want to watch any of them later on in the day, so you've got plenty of action to come this evening if you want to watch it.
Absolutely. So quickly before we go, be sure to subscribe, leave a like on the stream. Freddie, let's take a look then at both teams quickly before we go. Thoughts for Exeter? They'll be very relieved, won't they, that they got the win.
They won't be happy with that first half, but a win is a win. And big penalty to Gloucester there. Big penalty. Interesting to see. But I just think Exeter came alive in that second half. They got the dominance, and when you allow this team to get dominance, it'll be a massive to see what happens. But I think Exeter will be, and they'll take a massive. I think the difference was when Underhill went off. I think they lacked a bit of physicality in that second half. They lacked that. Just at the breakdown, they didn't look as good. But it's interesting. Just showed the control Exeter have.
Yeah. What are you saying about them encouraging start to the game, but then that try before half-time really killed them, and they just looked so tired in the second half, didn't they?
But this is the one thing that's been brought up a lot about Bath recently. Their fitness isn't good enough, and this just continues to show. Their fitness is starting to fall away. Apparently, I saw a stat they've got one of the worst fitness. I think they're 11th or 12th in fitness stat. It's quite poor for them. And Gloucester had just got a kick to bring them ahead 19-20 with 3 minutes to go.
Oh, wow.
It'll be a very close finish to the end of that. So it'll be a big win for Gloucester. Yeah, I'll see you over there at Rugby Geeks.
There we go. And that's where we're going to leave it, folks. We're going to jump off. So Freddie's watch log is going to be live in the next 10 minutes or so. So do head over, follow the link to watch that. And then, as I said before, at 7:15, Ulster against Leinster is the big one. The watch long this evening, so do join us for that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Subscribe to both channels if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you later throughout the evening. Thanks for joining. Take care, guys. Ryan Laffin, welcome. We are jumping off now, though, my friend. Getting Exeter. Let's go Exeter up to second. Congratulations on the win. We are jumping off now, though. Thanks, Freddie, for joining me, and I'll see you again very shortly. I'll be in the chat on your watch long, and I will see you shortly. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching, and peace.